Welcome to the Power Packed Podcast. Please be quiet and courteous and silence your cell phones now. Be sure to grab some snacks and concessions, located in the lobby. And now our feature presentation. Prepare for butter.
All the time, wondering if maybe I'm losing my mind. Stepping out to the horizon and me, or maybe I'm going out to sea. Maybe you should know by now. When I get back, everything will be alright. Seems like I'm out to sea every single night. I hope this old boat will stay afloat as we go.
I hope this old boat will stay afloat as we go.
Don't mind, maybe you sink or swim. Oh, I don't mind, maybe you sink or swim. Oh, I don't mind, maybe you sink or swim. Oh, I don't mind.
Could you whisper in my ear things you wanna feel? I'd give you anything to feel it coming. Do you wake up on your own and wonder where you are? Live with all your faults. I wanna wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all. So why don't you slide? Yeah, I'm just gonna slide. Let's slide. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's how I thought I'd sing you a song. Because again, we haven't got too musical lately, so there you go.
That's beautiful. That's our very own ant face, right? Goo Goo Dolls.
Goo Goo Dolls, the original OG ant face in the flesh.
Ant face, yeah. I was like, when you started singing that, I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, that's our very first ant face alert, and
like,
yeah,
that's not Wonderwall. What's he singing?
What are you singing? That ain't Wonderwall. No, it's funny. You know, I haven't been serenaded by the way in a while, and thank you. I started tearing up. I had to take a seat because I was feeling overwhelmed, but. Yeah, no, that was great. And no, we do need some more music. I think when I get back from my vacation, I'm just going to whip up 4 or 5 beats, and I'm just going to send them to you.
Just trap beats.
Just trap beats. And then we'll just do, maybe for the next couple episodes, we'll do the thing you did. That was really funny where you put a beat just somewhere in the audio file, and then we'd be talking, and then all of a sudden a beat would start, and you're like, oh, crap. And then you have to just freestyle over it. Yeah,
I like that. And it's a surprise to you, for sure.
Yeah, because I remember for you, is everything okay? I heard a huge slam.
Oh my goodness. So, are you done?
Oh,
so she gets more packages than I do. So, like I told you that one day she had 5 boxes for the dog.
Oh, yep.
It was like her dog food. It was like her medicine, and then it was 3 boxes of chew toys.
Oh,
so
yeah.
She ordered a subscription, and apparently I guess she canceled it, but they still send us stuff, I guess. So she got 2 more boxes, and she has this giant plastic magnet that weighs 1,000 pounds. She's lugging around. That's what you hear right now.
It sounded as if your body hit the floor or something. If the bodies hit the floor,
hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
It sounded like a full-grown man hitting the ground. So I was like, "Are you okay?" But that was just on my end.
I'm still in my chair, which I had to lower, by the way, because my mic stand is working less and less. It keeps going lower and lower. So,
man, you gotta. Time to get that new mic stand. Oh, and maybe the Easter Bunny will hop on over and poop out an egg that's got a mic stand in it for you.
And if it doesn't, I'll reach up in there and grab that egg myself if it's feeling timid. Be like, Bunny, I know what you do. You're supposed to be pooping in all these baskets, giving these kids some chocolate eggs. Now, if you ain't going to give me my mic egg, I'm going to glove up and get it. I do declare.
Cavity search. Yeah, it's funny. I'm glad, we think about this. We think of the Easter Bunny, the concept. It's kind of scary, isn't it? Just a massive, human-sized rabbit that is so what is the origin of the Easter Bunny? I always forget. It's kind of just it hides eggs, right?
is there some lore with like, does it steal eggs from birds or something? And does like a witch turn the insides into chocolate? Like, I don't know what the lore is, but
no, that's what I'm wondering. What's the? I like your lore more of it. It steals bird eggs. It has to like fight off birds in the wild, and then it brings the bird eggs back, and then a witch, just
like
enchants
them.
Yeah, be like, hey, this one's gonna be filled with jelly beans. I always hated the jelly bean ones. I always liked more of like the chocolates on the inside of the.
Maybe the jelly beans are done by spiteful witches.
Oh yeah. Honestly,
maybe there's like a collab between the Easter Bunny, who is cursed somehow, has to steal these eggs and deliver them to these witches, who they gain their power by performing their art. So like if you're a guitar player and you don't practice for like 6 months, you're obviously going to get rusty.
Yeah.
So they have to like, because maybe witchcraft is outlawed, but there's an exception, and that is Easter. So these witches like are able to, throughout the year, like Santa Claus's elves are making toys all year. They're doing their witchcraft to turn the insides of bird eggs into chocolates and jelly beans and dollar bills. And that's how they maintain their power. And that's how witches stay in business.
Yeah, honestly, that's you could fool me, honestly, that's what like the Easter Bunny at the be. I like the lore of it's probably this guy who was like an accountant or something, and he just like somehow got into the wrong trouble and he got bewitched and he turned into this giant rabbit, and he's just working off his debt, like you said, just to not be a rabbit anymore. But then maybe he gains insight. It's kind of like any of those movies where like Emperor's New Groove, the guy gets turned into a llama, and he becomes introspective, and they turn him back into a human, and he's not a jerk anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he was cursed by witches to do their bidding. Like the witches needed some form of, they pretty much like Illuminati this holiday into existence, and they're like, oh, we need you to steal these eggs so we can practice our magic. But if you go as a person, the birds are going to be scared and fly away and not nest near you, like a scarecrow. But if we turn you into a bunny, you're a harmless little bunny. They'll make nests and have eggs all around your property. There's no one scary man there. You're a little bunny. So
I like that. That's the reason why is they had. That's horrifying just to think they're like, that's the reason they did that, is so that there could be this. I mean, it makes sense though. You're not like, you're completely right there. Like, you don't want a full-grown guy. You don't want like Steve. Steve with his beard and his long hair going and trying to steal eggs.
Yeah, you're just a scarecrow off the stick. That's what a person is. So I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, you don't want that. Yeah, and another thing I was gonna talk about, because we're on that theme of just like Easter in April,
Easter witch trials,
the Easter witch trials. Perfect.
New book coming out 2023.
I'm making a note of that.
I'm not. It's your turn to write an Easter witch trial book. I'm not writing another book. It was too much.
I won't make you. Honestly, man, I don't expect you to write another book, and if you do, I'll just be I'll be happy and supportive. But
it was the most exhaustive joke ever. But
I think I applaud you. You commit to your jokes, and it's like I love that there's jokes that they live. They're like a Twinkie or a cockroach, just like they live forever. It's like a never ending. And I love the best part of your jokes is it expands off of it. It's like it kind of like that the birthday video. How even like 5 years later it's like blowing up on TikTok, and the same thing with like the Possum King thing. Like off the cuff, we just kind of joked about you writing that book, and then you wrote the book like 2 years later.
I got some response from Crumb because she's editing it, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh!"
Ooh, do we get a
hopefully that's good.
Do we get
any?
I was gonna say, do we get like a little, not a spoiler alert, but like any noteworthy things that she mentioned while editing it?
Let's see. I feel like I had a lot of inspiration at the start, so I think the writing was probably better. But I feel like it goes downhill as it goes on. But she said, let's see if I can find it. She's pretty much like, are you kidding me? I just read the first couple sentences and it's already so good. You really have a descriptive way to blah, blah, blah. I'm just paraphrasing text. And then she like, in all caps, is like, are you actually kidding me? And she was quoting some lines from the book. She was like, I had no idea you can freaking write this. It's like it gets worse. Trust me. It gets bad.
I bet it's good. Well, you're obviously a very, very brilliant guy, and you're just channeling. I like that. That's my favorite part. I think about you as just a human being is you're very, very smart and very creative, and I love the things that you create sometimes with using that energy. It's like I'm just gonna write. You know what? I'm gonna use this energy to create a book about a guy who's just deranged and kills possums, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. Instead of writing a second book, like I'll give it till whenever you read it. Maybe we can do a podcast about the lore, because you're going to get to the last chapter and be like, what the hell is all this? But I do have backstory for all this. It pretty much gets all like Lord of the Ringsy and stuff.
Yes,
like I have all these different like things going on, but you don't hear about any of them. It's just super vague, and you just get like little glimpses of like what the heck's happening. This isn't the book I was reading 9 chapters ago. What happened now?
I think that's the best part. Is it sounds like it takes like a total sci-fi twist, and I can't wait.
It really does. It's so stupid. I can't wait.
That's the best though. That's my favorite like thing about it. And I think once I read it all the way through, we should do an episode and just like talk through it. So that'd be a perfect one. That could be a longer, like a full rat, like an hour, and just talk through. Because it'll be kind of like those. I saw it's like those like serious things where somebody famous will interview like an author, and they'll talk about their book. So I can do that. I'll interview the author, and you can just like describe to me your like thoughts behind the book, and we'll definitely hype it up. And I am planning to still do the audio book, the read through. It's gonna be really wild, honestly. Doing that.
Yes, depending on how busy you are. I'm going to get back to you on that. When I get the final copy done, like when she's done editing, I'll do the edits. I'm going to ask how busy you are to see if you want to do that before we release it, while I'm getting the formatting and the artwork done and all because it costs money to set it up on Amazon. So I'll talk with you later about that, with your realistic time frame, if you even have time to do it at all. And we can maybe shoot for a target date. That way the audiobook and the actual book come out at the same time. But if not, it's totally cool. Like, again, this is just a weird, it's not even a passion project. I don't like writing. It's just
this is great. Man, it's great. I'm so happy to just even be somewhat a part of this, like just a sliver. So yes, I can definitely do the audiobook, honestly. And like I said, I'll just come up with a goofy name, and I'll do like some voices. I'll try to come up with some character voices from what I imagine they'll sound like. So that'll be really fun. Kind of like the Harry Potter books. That's like my inspiration. And I think I'll have to see, because is it 10 chapters you said?
It's 10 chapters, 40,000 plus words. So it's like a novelette is the technical term. It's like a short novel.
Okay. So I could. So I feel like I could bust that out in pretty quick. I figured what I'll do. If you read like a chapter a day, like it wouldn't take that long. Like I think, what was the average chapter length? I think the average chapter length was like 4,000 plus or minus like 2,000 words. That's all in that ballpark. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And that's how I'm going to do it too, is I'm going to give people more behind the scenes, because we're good at that. I think I'm going to record each audio clip as a chapter. So I'll keep all my settings pre-configured, and I'll have like, do everything so it sounds the exact same, but I'll send you the audio clips as chapters. So it'll be like chapter 1, and then I'll like read through it, and then I'll do chapter 2, and then I'll read, so
perfect.
It'll be easy. I think it'll be a cakewalk, and I want to support this. This is something that I think is just amazing. So I want to do my part.
And if we do it that way, like before we release the book at all, if we do the audio and the physical, I could have you write, you can use your real name or a fake name, an alias, whatever, but like a 1 sentence on the back of books, they have people like praising the book.
Yes,
Like free reign. You could even write a diss about the book. I don't care. You'd be like, this book is a waste of your time. Please don't read it. And it could be mixed in with like Crumb's review of like a glowing review. So and then I'm going to write a review because my pen name is JR Nunchucks, but I'm going to write something in there under my real name just so it's like, wait.
That's great.
Just to like...
That's way
it's
better.
It's like when what's the guy who did Django? I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
The director, Quentin Tarantino. Like he's in the movie, but it's such a subtle thing. So that's kind of the idea.
It's perfect, yeah. And if you want, if you think there's anyone else who would like be interested, like I'm for sure. I know Gary Bilson would be down to read Possum King, and he could probably send a review too.
He's the main character.
I mean,
Gary Bilson.
That's gonna be the best part. Is like he's gonna read that and be like, "What the hell?"
And there's some Patreon supporter in there. There's some characters. So
I know we made the cut, and thank you so much again for changing our names.
It's not a big change, but it's enough to where if they looked it up, they wouldn't find you. So
yeah, there you go. Much appreciated. But yeah, I could write a couple. Yeah, so I could do the review for the book under my, because I'm gonna come up with a funny name for the presenter. I'll be like, read by Alfred something
Michael Hunt. So.
Oh man, this is just
classic.
Yeah. This whole thing is just what I love about it is just it's spiraling out of control is the best way, because the part where it gets funny, where it's no longer a joke, is when it's actually published, because that's the best part. Because it's like you can do all these things, but once you publish that, it's real. It's like, oh man, I actually wrote a book and it's out there. And by the way, I can still look for an artist if you want someone to do the Harry Potter style art. I might be able to find someone.
Yeah, I haven't gone too far deep into that, but I have one more chapter to edit on my own, and then the rest is in Crumb's hands, and then I got to make the edits. But yeah, the artwork is it'll be coming up. Yes. And it's funny because Charlene still doesn't know about the book.
Oh, at all? That's so great.
At all, because I'm like, what do I say? Like, hi, I wrote this. And then she's gonna read it, and I'm gonna get judgy eyes. Like, what is this garbage? And the worst thing is she's gonna tell all her friends at work, and they're like, "Oh, my husband wrote this book." I'll be like, no, please don't.
Dude, there's so much good stuff there to unpack. I think. Well, then it's I think the justification is the best part. Like, she's like, you spent this much time working on a chapter book. That's the best part.
She's like, what do you mean you wrote a book? And I'll just pull it out and be like, here, JR, what is this? And be like, I wrote this. It's for you, I guess. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, that's great. I still love the idea of you having a physical copy and having it in your house. So if someone's looking at your bookshelf, they're like, ooh, what about this? And
like, oh, that's from an underground author. He's very interesting subject matter.
They're gonna read
on culture and life and
killing pot. I can't wait. Again, having the physical copy of that in my hands is going to be what really just brings me, like, fills me with joy. It's just seeing that and like seeing the reviews on the back and the cover and yeah.
Dude, I might ask Crumb to paint the cover, because good night, she's getting up there with their painting skills. Good. Oh my goodness. You know what?
Nice.
You know what? She didn't give me permission to do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to post 2 of her paintings and podcast content. Ooh. And she actually got some, I don't know what the correct term is, some bids. Some people were like, oh, hey, we will pay you to paint a picture for us. And so,
whoa, nice.
Yeah.
You guys are just a talented family, honestly. I'm in the presence of greatness.
In the presence of greatness, except our talent is making up bull crap, and Just like,
No.
well, hers is not. Hers is not bullcrap. My stuff is bullcrap.
Well, no, the obviously the book is just like a funny joke. It just kind of spans off your comedy, but obviously you have your other outlets too. You got your art, you got your music. Don't discredit yourself too much there. Bud.
Well, I have to. Okay, I have to.
I can't wait to see this. I'm refreshing, waiting for that podcast content.
Okay, there's two pictures. So the top one, I think she did just for fun, and I was like, wow, that's really good.
Whoa, she did these? Wow.
And then the bottom one, she sold to somebody. I was like, dang. I was like,
wow.
I made the joke like, you're gonna be like Tim Allen, the Santa Claus, except you'll be growing an afro and you'll be Laura Crumb Baby Bob Ross. Like you'll shave it and it'll grow back.
Yep. No
And
matter
you'll have
what.
a pet squirrel. You'll like throw the squirrel off a cliff and then it'll like respawn. Like because Bob Ross had a little squirrel friend.
He had the squirrels. Yeah, he liked the squirrels. Wow. So what is she using? Is she is this acrylic
I think it's
paint?
I think it's watercolor. She did
this
mention
watercolor?
she got 2 different paint sets or something recently, but I know she's been watercoloring. So
Wow. Well, she's gonna hear it live on this when she listens, but she's very talented. Like I'm super impressed. Like you should have her. Like, what are you doing looking for artists when you have a sister who's this talented? So I think you should like have her do the cover.
you know what? I'm gonna describe what I envision for the cover right here, right now. So once she reads the book, she'll get the idea. I'm thinking like dark trees on each side, kind of like surrounding maybe the top left, and right, dark trees, and not pine trees because it's not set in the Northwest. It's like normal trees, and then just have like you have the description of the main character in the book. So like a silhouette of him in the middle, just kind of like walking through these dark trees is kind of just like the basic, something simple, but something that kind of like shows his environment. And then don't worry about the text or the title. I got a guy for that. So,
Ooh, nice.
and then the back of the book, maybe just like a similar thing, just like trees or something. I don't know.
That's gonna be incredible. I'm just getting chills. I feel like that's like very Dean Koontz. I like it.
Yeah, they call me the Dean Machine.
What, I bet Dean Koontz goes to like parties and everyone's like, oh no, this jackass is here, and he's like, what's up, it's the Dean Machine.
It's like, what's up, fellas?
It's the Dean Machine.
Oh yes.
Anyone want to read my book? No, Dean, not again. I got
He's
a
just
book for you.
He's like flipping a quarter on his knuckles, like
He's menacing, like, I'm Dean Koontz. Yeah.
this is $50, and I mean business. Dude, I tried learning how to do that. It's not easy, and I gave up.
That's tough. Yeah, that's some.
Have you ever tried?
Doing the half? I have a $50 round. I found one. We were cleaning up around the house, and Andrea found a $50, and we're like, "Whoa, it's pretty cool."
Yeah, have you tried like the knuckle thing where you like it's like Tombstone where he's just flicking it, it's flopping all over his knuckles?
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I can do like the pen thing, where you spin the pen around in your fingers, but yeah, no, that's a cool Tombstone thing where he does the coin. It's like it's really like seamless.
Yeah, I'm surprised I had friends growing up because that's the kind of stuff like I wanted to know how to do. Like I was into magic in middle school, and it's just like I just couldn't get the hang of it, but I wanted to get the hang of it. That's how much of a loser I was. But it's okay. I didn't end up committing to it, and I got friends eventually. So
That's good. That's good. You're obviously a very social person. And I was going to say though, let's take this back for a second. And let's make sure that when we get together, we have one episode of JJ Fresh where there's a magic show where we
Penn and Teller, the Penn and Teller.
I'll tell you,
Dude, I had bought multiple things. I had the thing where you put a quarter on your hand, and you wave your hand over it, and it disappears. I had that thing.
Whoa.
And then
Do you
I
still
had
have
the
any
thing
of
where
this?
no. Then I had the thing where you bite the quarter and you blow on it, poof, and it appears as a normal quarter.
Oh, yep.
Dude, I had all these stupid things, and I was like, I'm gonna practice and be the next David Blaine. But
That's
that
great.
it was stupid.
You know what? I don't think there's anything stupid about that. From my one of my brothers, I won't mention which one, but I got just as a joke, kind of. I bought them a Chris Angel magic kit for Christmas one year, just for fun, and he legit got in. He was like, "This is actually pretty rad," and he got really good at the magic tricks, like just off the cusp, just was like he's one of those people who can just pick something up and be good at it, and he was just doing all these magic tricks, and it was great because he was getting to the point where he's doing them, and my dad was getting kind of annoyed, like, stop with the magic tricks.
It's like, oh boy,
And
toilet sounds.
Oh yeah, so it was great. I have fond memories of magic kits, but that's cool. That used to be, or you probably still are, a magician. It's still there. It's one of those things like you're not Peter. You know, what is it? Is Peter Pan? Peter Pan never grows up, right? Is that the thing?
I think he's a full-grown man, isn't he? Like a teenager at least. He's at least in like sophomore in high school.
Yeah, so he's at least that. But does he? But he can't age though, because that's kind of. I was gonna go off the joke of that your magic skills are like the Peter Pan in your heart of you just doing that. I think you should pick up magic again. And like I said, we should do it for at least one episode when we eventually visit.
Well, okay. I have been watching on YouTube. They fooled us. It's the Penn and Teller show.
Oh, Penn and Teller is good. Yeah.
And so it's like American Idol, but not. They're judging other people's magic acts. And it's just like from a creative perspective, how anyone can just come up with a magic trick that's new. It baffles me because, I mean, people like write books about different like forms of illusions and magic tricks and stuff. They're like, you obviously have studied this person. He's like, yeah, I did. Oh, you studied this person. But like to actually come up with something brand new that stumps like professional magicians, it's like how does it even happen? Like, it's just crazy to me. It's just wild. It's wild.
Yeah. Honestly, I agree with you. That's like that. I think. Because there is something really cool about magic, illusions and everything. And the fact that, people can come up with these things, like think of a way to like, do the illusions and everything. And probably one of my favorite shows actually is, I don't know if you've ever seen Magic for Humans, but that is just a fantastic.
Is that on Netflix? I think I've heard of it.
It's on Netflix. Yeah. It's, the guy, he is just absolutely hilarious. And the noteworthy one, which is the most important episode to watch of that, is where he gets a group of people and they're all in on it, and then he gets a couple of random people and he's like, okay, for my trick, I'm going to make you guys completely disappear. Like no one's going to be able to see you. But really all he did was talk to the big group of people in the audience beforehand. He's like, hey, just pretend like these guys aren't here after I wave my hand. And oh my God, it messed up these guys' heads. He's like, 1, 2, 3, go. And then everybody was like, whoa. And they started clapping, and the people were like, the people who were in the chair were like freaking out, and they were like going around and waving their hands in front of people's faces and taking stuff out of people's hands. And it was like, you could tell it was really messing them up mentally. It's great.
That's like psychological and like cool. Like that's something I would love to watch. So.
Yeah. And it's funny. That's the only one that's more of just like really funny, like social thing. Otherwise he's actually a really good magician. Like he does all these other things as well. But it's the show's produced by Tim and Eric, so it's just like really, really funny and really weird. But yeah, it's good. It's really good.
I'm trying to think of that really. He's a famous magician. I don't want to butcher his name. He won like America's Got Talent.
Oh yes. Is his name? Yeah.
America's Got Talent magician. Blah blah blah. Let's see. What's his name? I watched some of his videos. Anyways, he does this thing where like he's dealing cards, but as he puts the card down on the table, it like disappears. I'm like, whoa, where's it going? What is happening? And I've watched the video in like slow motion, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna type in something. Let's see what comes up.
Excuse
Okay,
boy.
Lang Shun Lim is his name.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'm not gonna tell you what I had to put in Google to find that, but that's what it is.
There we go. Perfect. I remember that guy. I remember it. And man, I'm gonna watch some magic videos after this. I was gonna say too, what I love about this show, you know, the fact that we meet and talk every week. You know, it's like I've known you for about a decade now, and I didn't know you were a fan of magic. So there you go.
I just like it would be cool to know how to do all that crap, like sleight of hand, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I'm already invested into one hobby. I don't have time for two. That's my thoughts on it.
That was your teeter. If you could have another hobby, then you would pivot from guitar to magic, like sleight of hand magic too.
Yeah, not like the I'm going to pull a rabbit out of my, you know, calf or my sock or whatever. Like, oh look, this is your card, and then voila, it's I put it over there or something. Like, oh, it's in my guitar. Something stupid. Yeah.
No, nobody's got time for that.
Yeah, and side note, Peter Pan is, according to Google, 12 to 13 years old.
Okay, so
it's the kid. How old are the kids that he abducts?
That's important information because I don't approve of that.
Because I feel like, you know how there's the age thing with like dating someone? Oh, it's half your age plus 7. And that's for dating, but what is it for being a friend of someone? Because Peter Pan's like, I guess, these kids' friends.
He's their friend,
but
yeah.
But at the same time, like, I feel like that half age plus 7 only works maybe like if you're in your 20s. But if you're like 10, I don't know. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It seems like the rules should be different and more strict.
Yeah. But this is
okay.
like,
Because think about a 2-year-old. Half of a 2-year-old's age is 1 plus 7 is 8. That's not right at all. That's call the cops. So
yeah, that's weird. That's weird. No, I speaking the truth there, and you know it's
Peter Pan's a freaking pervert, and we are the Power Pack Podcast, a podcast featuring 2 dudes and 1 friendship. And as Josh ends this episode, I'm going to make sure the dog doesn't piss her pants. So I'll be right back.
All right. Episode is over. Tune in next week for 10. No, it's 109 now, so 110 next week. So we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy your week. Eat healthy, drink water, and stay healthy. And get out for a walk if you can, or something. I don't know.
Thank you for tuning into our regularly scheduled program. Contact Josh and Jonathan at powerpackedpodcast@gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/powerpacked. See you next time, you dirty little rat babies.